Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Boustany, who is a tireless advocate for the energy interests of his state of Louisiana.
Gentleman from Louisiana is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank my friend from Alabama for yielding time to me. Let's look at the facts. I support this rule, and I support the underlying legislation, H.R. 702, which would lift the ban on oil exports for this country. The United States is the only oil-producing country that has a self-imposed ban, and it makes no sense. It doesn't fit within our own views of open trade, open energy markets. And why did this come about? It came about because in the 1970s, we moved into an age of scarcity with regard to energy. Our producers could not keep up with demand, but American innovation, American technology has solved that. And now we've moved into an era of abundance. This is a time where we can actually change the entire landscape of energy security, not only for the United States, but also for our allies, and reap major economic benefit by lifting the ban. When we came out of the recession, energy jobs helped lift us out of that recession. This revolution, the shale revolution, was a major factor. What we are seeing now with slack demand and the abundance and a lot of oil sitting that is not being used in refineries has caused slackening of prices and job loss. We can reverse that by lifting the ban and giving American producers access to the market, just like everybody else that produces oil. Why should the Iranians be able to sell oil on the open market and we have a self-imposed ban on American energy producers? It makes no sense at all. Secondly, if we lift the ban, this is a first and necessary step, I believe, in building out a whole new energy strategy for the United States that leads to an American view, an American imprint on energy security, not a Russian and not an OPEC view of this. Why? Because we embrace open markets. We embrace diversity of sources. We embrace transparency in pricing. That's what we want. Lifting the ban is that first step. Secondly, if we couple this with building out more pipelines that help us integrate the Mexican market, energy market, and the Canadian, the North American area can clearly take care of all of our domestic demands collectively and have plenty to export and impose.
Mr. Speaker, I yield the gentleman an additional minute.
The gentleman is recognized for an additional 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This will then move us in the position of dominating energy strategy globally, putting OPEC and Russia on the defense. They cannot keep up with American energy producers. They don't have the innovation. They don't have the technology, and they're running budget deficits that are harmful to their countries. They will have to change, and we will dominate the energy sector. Further, last step in this, if we integrate this with our trade policy, we then start to eliminate the abusive practices that these national oil companies perpetrate and put American open market companies, multinational companies, back in the driver's seat, but we also help American producers and producers in my home state of Louisiana, small companies that are suppliers, small companies that provide the service, the boat companies, the maritime companies that help facilitate all this. This is about job creation. This is about American energy production. It's about American energy security. And it's about having leverage in our foreign policy. That's why I support this first step of lifting this ban on crude exports. I yield back.
Gentleman from Florida.